Let's go live now to the Prime Minister. He's speaking about urgent care clinics. He's on questions. He'll be asked about various things, including the tax cuts and other things that are being discussed within Labor at the moment.
And now I'm not quite sure what their position is, but they're going to have to decide, because we have a clear plan that will help Middle Australia in particular to provide that additional support. Now, this wasn't an easy decision, but it was the right decision.
Prime Minister, are you open to negotiating with the Greens on matters such as JobSeeker and dental in Medicare if you need their support for the Stage 3 tax cuts?
We'll put this plan forward on its merits, and people in the House of Representatives and the Senate can determine their view as to whether they want to provide increased support to low and middle income earners or not. We'll always look at budget measures, but what we won't be doing is trading across different issues. We're focused on this. This stands on its merits, and people can decide whether they want to leave people behind. All those people earning under $45,000 will not get a cent under the former government's proposal. Working families will not be the priority, whether they be low-income earners or middle-income earners. What we have is a plan that will double the tax cuts for people on the average wage and more than double the tax cuts for working families, such as those on the coast here where mum and dad are working. The average income for a two-person working family is $130,000. Now, they would have got $1,000 under the old system. Under the proposed system, there'll be $2,600. So I'd urge people across the House of Reps and the Senate will treat people with respect, as we always do.
Prime Minister, given the tax cuts, falling inflation and wages, will things get easier for Australian households in the second half of this year?
We have been focused on making a difference, and that has been our focus, lifting up living standards. You left one thing off there in that question, which is the increased wages as well. So what we're seeing is the fight against inflation has been front and centre. What we have done here is to have cost of living relief whilst putting downward pressure on inflation. And we saw the benefit yesterday. I mean, the quite extraordinary data, really, to make a substantial difference. Inflation moderating to 4.1% in the year to the December quarter. Now, that was down from 5.4% in the September quarter. Bear this in mind, that when we came to government in the March 2022 quarter, the last quarter solely presided over by the Coalition, the inflation rate for just that quarter was 2.1%. 2.1% in just one quarter. Now, their response to that was to put more money into the economy in the March budget, to be fiscally irresponsible in order to try to secure support, most of which ran out as soon as people voted in the May election. That was what they did. Now, we haven't done that. We've been fiscally responsible. We have produced the first budget surplus in 15 years in order to put that downward pressure on inflation. But we've done something else as well. We've seen not one but two increases in the minimum wage, with submissions from the government saying that people shouldn't fall behind. We also have seen real wages increase in 2 quarters in a row. So we're seeing real wages lift whilst we're providing cost of living relief through these tax cuts, while we're providing other measures to provide cost of living relief. So we want people to earn more, and we want them to keep more of what they earn. And this has been achieved whilst keeping unemployment at a very historic low. Now, that has been our government's focus, and we've done all of this while there's been this noise on the other side with a coalition that wanted to do the opposite in healthcare. Peter Dutton not only cut money out of health, tried to introduce a GP tax and said that bulk billing was unsustainable. He also wanted to increase the cost of medicines. That's the alternative. We'll continue to be constructive. But I'd say to Peter Dutton, if he can't come up with a single constructive idea, just get out of the way, because people need these tax cuts, and that is what we will have before the Parliament, and he'll have to make a decision as to where he stands.